Welcome to Throttle Freaks, Week 2 at Adelaide Street Circuit. I'm Richard Swindells, here in the booth commentating with special guest in production and commentary. We've got Daniel Zippy Salmon. We're here for Week 2, Street Circuit. First time racing here for many of the drivers. A tight technical course on the streets of Adelaide in Australia. We'll see how they do in Week 2 after Week 1 saw some spectacular racing. Looking forward to seeing what the drivers have in store for us tonight. Welcome, Zippy. Glad to have you here on Racer Nexus. Nice to have you in the booth. It's been a while since we worked together.
It sure has, Richard. Certainly the first thing we're going to get out of the way is we do wish our fearless leader, Mr. Rob Campbell, feels better soon. Certainly desperate times, desperate measures. Ladies and gentlemen, he didn't bring in the cavalry, he brought in the donkey. That is the one and only myself on that one. But don't get me wrong, Donkey was adored by many in the film Shrek, but we'll have to see just how it goes here on Races Nexus. But I've got to say, I've seen these guys race before. I've had the pleasure of racing with them before, and I say that very loosely, Richard. I cannot hold a candle to these guys. It's a very high strength for field. We're looking at about 2.3k, but there is some seriously big hitters in this lobby. Ladies and gentlemen, Oleg Lovkov, 7,000 I rating, ladies and gentlemen. Ryan O'Connor, 5501. There is some seriously big hitters in this race tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. And just a little side note there, Zippy. I happened to notice after last week's race, somebody posted up on one of the forums I follow that a certain Gonzalo Cortez, who's certainly fast all on his own with the best lap time thus far, he happened to be in a practice session with none other than Oscar Piastri, just a second off his pace. So Gonzalo Cortez looking for some good results again this week.
Well, certainly I'll cheer for Gonzalo Cortez before I cheer for Oscar Piastri, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing to say more on that matter other than Lando is rightfully so the world champion, ladies and gentlemen.
Please.
Debate! Bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. It's still, I guess it's part of being me. But, Rich, take us through how it's going to be going for this race. Obviously, these guys are currently in qualifying. You tell me what you need, sir. I'll be happy to serve it up.
Not much needed here, Zippy. We just following along here with our racers. Maybe we can take a look at some of the drivers going through the pack. We got the way it works here at Throttle Freaks. A typical week to week racing, 15 minutes of open qualifying. That's 15 minutes, all drivers on the track. Right now we've got 41 drivers. Once that qualifying is over, that's going to set us up for the race tonight. Race is 45 minutes. Drivers are going to have to make a pit stop for fuel. That fuel stop is not necessarily mandatory, but they're going to need it if they want to get to the end. I wouldn't expect to see anybody taking tires, but it's going to be an exciting race tonight. Looking forward to seeing what drivers have in store. Right now, we've got about 4 minutes left in qualifying. Drivers are able to finish the lap they're on, and if they cross the line with time left, they can do one more. Gonzalo Cortez, Jack Hedgecock's no stranger. Oh, Tyler Graf just moved up into second here. Jack Hedgecock sitting in third. Oleg Lovkov in fourth. We've got fifth place is Aaron Morgan so far. So all top 5 drivers are in the pro category. We run 3 different categories here at Throttle Freaks. We've got the pros, we've got the pro-ams, and we've got the amateurs. And as you'll see through the course of seasons gone by, people do move between categories, usually up. We've had several drivers move up from AM to Pro-Am. We've had drivers move up from Pro-Am to Pro. So right now we look at the board. Zippy, Gonzalo Cortez, Mr. Australia practice man, is sitting up top in the Ford Mustang.
Yeah, fair to say he is indeed potent today at Adelaide. But I've got to ask myself, just how helpful is the draft going to be? I imagine on such a street circuit, it seems that I wouldn't expect it to be that potent, but myself never had the luxury of being here at Adelaide. I literally picked up the track just before we went live and cursed Rob out slightly for that, albeit the time was going to come at some point. But I can certainly think of a good friend of mine, Reese Gardner, who would be absolutely in love with this track, ladies and gentlemen. Our resident Australian. It's fair to say he's a fan, ladies and gentlemen. He's a fan. And I've got to say, Richard, I am loving the variety of machinery we've got here. Ladies and gentlemen, we've even got Lambos.
Yeah, we've got Lambo. Steve Bush III, always in the Lambo. I don't see his name up there yet, but I'm sure he's out there somewhere. The one thing, you're talking about Adelaide, Zippy. I didn't own the track until earlier today, but I actually hopped in the rig, did about 7 or 8 laps to get a feel for it. It reminds me a lot of Long Beach, Belle Isle, those kind of tracks. Obviously, it's a street circuit. Unlike Long Beach, it's got some elevation changes. I expect to see some drivers maybe brushing some walls here and there. It's going to be good, close, tight racing, hopefully clean racing. It's a very technical track. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I am definitely looking forward to it. And I've got some new toys to play with as well. Rob gave me the party bus, and it's fair to say, oh yeah, I'm having fun with that.
We got some great track cameras here. Good track camera angles from Track Cams 22. Taking a look at these drivers going on board here. Not sure who that is. We got
Ryan O'Connor in the number 95.
There we go. Number 95 car. Watch him go through. Coming to the end of the last corner here. Very, very tight corner. You're going to take it all the way out. Going down the straightaway now. Across the start-finish line to complete this lap.
Well, I've got to say, the fans have come out in their droves, ladies and gentlemen. As the Soul Pack, now that's definitely a name I'm familiar with. Certainly, Daniel Gray, the stream, actually, he used to be sponsored by them. Certainly, whenever I see that name, I know that there tends to be a potent drive behind the wheel. Looks like the Mustang behind. Definitely keen to give him a little bit of stick there. But I've got to say, what an absolutely wonderful field of cars you got here as well. Quite the variety of drivers. I've got to say, fair play to Matt Taylor. He's managed to get iRacing logo as a flag. I don't know how he's done that, but fair play. But what's really unusual is the large amount of Ferrari here today, actually. Usually the Ferrari these days, not necessarily the most popular GT3 choices, but certainly in this strength of field, appears to be quite the popular choice.
Yeah, we've got a good mixture. We've had a good mixture with Throttle Freaks all along. I mean, we've got Fords, we've got Porsches, Mercedes, Ferraris up in the top 10. Jack Edgecote's always in the Ferrari. We've got everything, Zip. Like you said, we even got a Lambo or two. We've got, it looks like we may even have an Aston Martin, BMW, so even one Audi. So everybody's well represented.
I gotta say, that is absolutely fantastic, and I think I might have picked out my favorite car. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like it's got leopard print on the front of that. Certainly last time I saw that was maybe 15 or 16 years ago, and I do believe that's got to be a teammate ahead of him. Now, do we have like an official teams championship here at Throttle Freaks, or is it just purely by coincidence that these guys appear to have rear-ended the same animal on the Safari?
We certainly do have a teams championship. Drivers make up of 3 drivers. The best 2 count for each week. So far, a little bit of crashing qualifying there. Looks like somebody spinning around, but rather unfortunate, but we will not worry about that too much. Yeah, it certainly is a teams championship. Right now, we've got 21 different teams entered this season, so only in week 2. We'll see how things shake out as the season progresses.
It certainly is. There's still a lot to play for, and I'm going to have a guess. Is it 8 rounds or 10 rounds here for Throttle Freaks? But definitely, it's fair to say it's not going to be an easy championship. I took myself to a Princess-approved track and ran with these guys, and even on my best day, I could not compete with these guys. Like, they are blisteringly quick there. As we see one of these drivers, Mr. Neil Alexander, bringing it down pit road. Actually, quite a few people in the pits there, as the qualifying session does indeed go to checkers. It looks like the majority of drivers just about completing a lap. We're trying to find somebody who's still out there on the move. It looks like Seb Gauthier, he's in that Porsche there. He's pulled over. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that is going to bring qualifying to a close.
Yeah, 15 minutes of qualifying goes real quick here, Zippy. So we're just waiting for timing and scoring to update us. Then we'll get the field gridded up and give you an announcement of who's where. Right now, it looks like it's going to be a very close battle up front, just like it has been all season long. Variety of different drivers kind of taking the poles so far in the last couple of races.
Yeah, definitely a lot to play for here, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, I'm loving the fact that these guys have got so many different classes and the fact that they keep moving around as well. Certainly sometimes, I mean, all you can initially go off is iRacing. And fair to say, you know, there's a few people, you're going to put them in the top class, ladies and gentlemen. But certainly some, they never run official races, and all of a sudden it can... it doesn't take much, and you find that they're quickly, you know, running in a higher pace. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we've got Gonzalo Cortez on the front row alongside Mr. Aaron Morgan. Second row, Tyler Graff alongside Oleg Lovkov. And back there in fifth, we got Steve McDonald and Jack Hedgecox. He's there with Jason Park in seventh, Brett Furman there in eighth. And in ninth, we got Jared Deploy with Dale Peterson rounding out your top 10.
Yeah. Car number in 11th place, we got James Hand. Then in 12th, Herbert Pineda. Up in 13th, we got Sean Provo, Jerome Berthume beside him in 14th. Jay Steffi in 15th, and Nick Bruno in 16th. We've got Tyler Turbo in 17th, and Stephen McLean in 18th. Dave Jensen, 19th. Jared Keane rounds out your top 20. Then we have Colin McKenzie, 21st, with Ryan O'Connor beside him in 22nd. Andrew Venaros in 23rd, with Jeff Evans in beside him in 24th.
Having a look there in 25th, we're going to have Seb Gauthier alongside Kevin Bequist. In 27th, we've got David Morse alongside Frank Pisano with Neil Alexander. That's McLaren of a few moments ago there in 29th. Sully Saeed, he takes 30th with Josh Gowen there in 31st, with Evan Jones alongside in 32nd. Matt Taylor takes 33rd with Ian Cabana in 34th, and then Barry Cochran in 35th with Christopher Rhines closing out 36.
Yeah, we've got a big field here again tonight. With 37th, we've got Drew DeWeese. 38th, Andy Mills. Then we have Karsten Quint in at 39th. Todd Tourville in 40th. And rounding out the field, 41-car field tonight, Zippy, we've got Robert Jeffries.
Definitely a fantastic turnout here, as indeed a majority of these guys are currently taking to the grid, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there the pace car parked firmly in the middle of that street circuit. It's fair to say he isn't getting a ticket today, ladies and gentlemen, but what can I say? A beautifully scenic track, despite the fact it is indeed in a city centre. It's fair to say that it's looking pretty good. Oh, interesting.
Certainly is. Got to feel a little bit of a burnout here and there, don't you, Zip? Once again, we're at Throttle Freaks, where we like that we do the short pace lap. I don't know if the drivers are going to like it so much. Not a lot of opportunity to heat up the tires as they enter into the treacherous turn 1, 2, 3 combo. But pace cars leading them around this big 41-car field, folks. We got 45 minutes of action coming up in just 4 corners.
Well, you keep talking, Richard. I'm going to have a quick look at something here on the production side, but definitely it's looking interesting here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's always looking interesting. Right now, things are just getting into place. We've got the drivers setting themselves up, waiting for coming around turn 13, around turn 14. The pace car pulling off now. 1 corner here to go. Is this big hairpin in the final corner. Drivers are on the straightaway now. Let's see what happens as they got control of the field.
Well, definitely some interesting things happening here. And timing is soaring, but right next, Gonzalo Cortez is up and away, ladies and gentlemen, for the PLR Sim Sports team. Very much being cheered on by Monkey Boy there in the chat. I promise that is his username, not me making a slur. But you can see there, all the drivers are already finding out as they make their way around the first couple of turns, with Aaron Morgan there in second and Oleg Lovkov there in third.
Yeah, good start here. Drivers well underway. Nice quick jump. The top 3 drivers getting away, but looking side by side through that tight right-hander. My goodness, now it looks like they're going to take a 3 wide. Oh, looks like that might have been Jack Hedgecock getting it up on the wall a little bit, but drivers tucking him in. We got a train of 3 cars going up beside the 1 car on the inside. Let's see what happens when we come around the corner. Oh my goodness gracious, Zippy, they're going crazy out here.
Yeah, definitely a high-risk maneuver. I'm not sure I'd be looking to go 3 wide into a right-hander, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to say, the paint job there on the Porsche of the 771, absolutely gorgeous, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Jack Hedgecox is currently ahead in that Ferrari, ladies and gentlemen. But already you can see Oleg Lovkov has broken away by about 1.3 seconds.
Yeah, right now I've got quite the battle going on. I'm showing actually I think we're going a little bit different here on things here. I'm showing that Gonzalo Cortez is up front, so I've obviously got that wrong, Zippy. But no, it is Gonzalo up there in the Mustang. So we got Gonzalo Cortez, Aaron Morgan, Oleg Lovkov in third, and Jack Edgecote's in fourth right now. You see Jack Edgecote's in the purple Ferrari. Rounding out the top four. The top three cars have broken away a little bit, though.
You keep talking, Richard. I'm going to try and figure out the timing tower here.
Yeah, no problem at all. We're continuing along, following along with the leaders. Gonzalo Cortez, no surprise. Lots of practice. He put in the laps. He put in the time, folks. And he is on point with the beautiful-looking white Mustang. Aaron Morgan in the Porsche behind him. Oleg Lovkov sitting in third place in the Mercedes in the background. But we're going to continue to strive on, folks.
Definitely some interesting things going on here. I think I'm going to do exactly the same as you just did there, Richard. So just bear with me a second here.
Yeah, no problem, Zippy. We're going to keep following along here. What's going on with this live action? I'm going to go up front here. We got Gonzalo Cortez having himself and Aaron Morgan make a move up the inside. That gives Gonzalo the inside for the following corner. Aaron Morgan around the outside, folks. Good close battling. Aaron Morgan up the inside. Gonzalo Cortez around the outside. That's letting Oleg Lovkov just tuck up in behind.
There
so
we
right
go.
now, Gonzalo Cortez up to point. Oleg Lovkov, Aaron Morgan, three cars battling side by side. This is good close racing here, Zippy. Three cars with three cars following in behind. Really enjoying this battle, letting them close back up after the top three had gapped a little bit. Now we've got ourselves a six-car train for the lead.
Yeah, definitely an absolutely fantastic fight here for the front of the pack, ladies and gentlemen. Gonzalo Cortez fighting it out there in... I can't even read the class there, Richard. It's too small for me, but...
It's okay, Zippy. All drivers up the front here. These are all the pros right now, but we've got battles up and down the track. We've got the pro drivers. We've got the pro-ams. Right now, Dale Peterson leading in the pro-am category. We've got the amateurs. James Hand, folks, 9th place right now. He's up 2 positions, leading him. Amateur, great job.
Well, not only that, he's got the car ahead of Dale Peterson, which, if I'm not mistaken there, Richard, I do believe that is now an open concept Mercedes. The front bumper of that there is indeed missing. We would like to go back and check the footage there, but not currently got it on hand, ladies and gentlemen. I did have to restart the overlay software, for which I do apologise. Certainly the first time here producing 4 races Nexus. It's fair to say it's... the furniture may both be, it has the same application, but it's certainly not the one that I'm used to. Let's go with that, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm going to look a little bit further back through the field there, as right now, actually, Dale Peterson is leading the, I can't read that, Richard. He's reading the red class.
Well, I've got Dale Peterson. Yeah, that's a good call, Zippy, but Dale Peterson so far is sitting himself, I believe he's in the amateur class, or sorry, he's in the Pro-Am class. So Dale Peterson, who was 4th overall in Pro-Am after week 1, leading today, he is having himself a good battle. But with the amateur leader of tonight's race, James Hand, hey, you like James Hand, Zippy? He's from that little island you're from. Well,
fair play. There's got to be somebody with a fine amount of extra taste here present, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not going to be me. But we look here at the back of the field. Despite the fact we're at the back of a 37-car pack, we do have a couple of retirements already. Herbert Pineda, Jason Park, Jared Deploy, and indeed Sean Prevost. They have all retired, ladies and gentlemen, but we do have 38 cars still running. But right now, despite that, Robert Jeffries there starting to get to a little bit of battle very briefly with Carsten Quint. Both of these Canadian drivers battling out in the Mustang and indeed the Porsche. But we're going to head up further back into the field, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like Seb Gauthier is getting to a point. And that's a huge incident there with Andy Venaro.
Andy Venaro off track. That car looks wrecked. His day is over. Unfortunate for him. You see him there waiting. Looks like he's going to try and get it back moving, but there's definitely some heavy damage. We'll take a look on board on the replay. And this is a tough section here, Zippy. And it really, no fault of his own. He just came through there, and there was already a car spun ahead of him. And Andrew Venaro trying to avoid contact, put it up on the curb, lost control into the wall. Bad news for Andrew.
Yeah, I have a feeling it was Colin McKenzie there who got a little bit loose in the accurate goes, gets a little bit too greedy on the curves, ends up absolutely devouring that wall. Manages to get going again, so fair play, but it's definitely a little bit unfortunate there for Andy. Don't get me wrong, he did well to avoid it overall, but definitely it could have happened to anybody, ladies and gentlemen, but thankfully still here in the race at Adelaide.
Yeah, it looks like he was doing his best. Danny Sullivan from years gone by impression, and to get the car straightened out. Unfortunate for Andrew Bernaro, but Evan Jones we're taking a book on. Evan Jones sitting in 28th place. He's up 4 positions on the day. He's himself a nice little battle. He's got Salty Side ahead of him, and Barry Cochran behind him. Look at that, Zippy. What's that, a 12, 14 car train? So good close racing here at Adelaide thus far tonight.
Yeah, definitely, and I got to say, without a doubt, my favourite paint on the grid so far, ladies and gentlemen. And not only that, I love the fact he's driving the Aston Martin, the best of British, ladies and gentlemen.
It matches your underwear there. It matches your underwear, Zippy, the front end there. So the leopard skin print, isn't that the one you wanted to look at? Yeah, there we go. So great close racing, great events here. We got Evan Jones continuing to battle on in 28th place. Up front, though, Gonzalo Cortez is finally shaking a little bit loose of Oleg Lovkov. He's got himself almost a full second lead. He's got himself about 3/4 of a second lead to Aaron Morgan. So right now the 1, 2, 3 drivers separating themselves out just a little bit. Just thought we'd let you know what's going on up there, folks, as we try and cover all the races and all the battles throughout this field.
Certainly is indeed multiple battles throughout, and I do apologise there if I'm missing a hint from Rich. I'm trying to multitask, ladies and gentlemen, as I believe that was a Red Bull livery just gone by. But right now, Ian Cabana getting in a battle here with Drew DeWeese, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed Ford versus Ferrari, but we don't have Matt Damon, and forgive me if I got the actor wrong, as you see Steve McDonald there having to serve a slowdown, as does Jeremy further up in the field. But right now, this Mustang looking to see if he can fight back and regain that position there from the 774.
It's been a good close race here. We're taking on board 32nd place Drew DeWeese. Drew DeWeese sitting in 32nd with Ian Cabana up ahead of him. Ian Cabana in his custom livery that we're used to seeing. Ian Cabana in the Ferrari. Drew DeWeese in behind. Christopher Rhines in the BMW in behind him.
Certainly that BMW is going to be hoping that these guys start to fight indeed, as he is going to have a front row seat for this battle. The tight streets of Adelaide, ladies and gentlemen, beautifully surrounded by trees, I might add as well. But right now, is there anything that he can do in that number 111 car? Ladies and gentlemen, you can see there the opportunity lays ahead of him to find his way up to not just P32, P31, but not only that, he's looking to try and make his way forward. His next nearest competition in class is the number 24 car of Evan Jones, who's currently getting the battle. Oh no, that's gone horribly wrong for Jones.
Yeah, that definitely was. That's not what you want to see, to state the obvious, but hopefully these cars can get underway without too much damage. Barry Cochran having himself Evan Jones getting into the wall. Looks like we're going back on the replay here. Coming up in this corner. Big steep corner.
Oh.
These curves, and just understeered right all the way over to the curb. Looks like he got through cleanly though, Zip. I don't see any damage.
Yeah, well, this is the onboard here from Barry Cochran. It looks like he just came a little bit too late in the brakes and bump.
I missed Barry there somehow. Yeah, that definitely was not the fault of Evan Jones.
Definitely not the result he was looking for. But we've got more battles happening further up in the field, ladies and gentlemen. This is for P11 overall. It's Dave Jensen versus Tyler Tourneville. I do apologise, Tyler. As these guys go side by side, ladies and gentlemen, that looked incredibly brave indeed. We may have to get a brown card to match for underwear if these guys keep doing that, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, Dave Jensen in that 692, trying to hold on. He's currently up 8 positions on the day. Not quite the hard charger, but certainly putting in a good run so far.
Oh, it looks like somebody using the runoff there and disappearing from view. So Dave Jensen having himself a very good run thus far, up 8 positions. The only person I see who's up a little more might be Matt Taylor, Josh Gowen up 11 positions each. Tyler Tourville getting himself back underway after that little excursion.
Well, it looks like something's happened with David Morse as well. We're going to try and get an eye. And oh my gosh, that's mullered.
Yeah, David Morse day is over, jumping to the pits after that catastrophic event here. We can go on board, look at the replay. Coming up the outside, goes to spin in, goes to turn in. There's a car there already, and into the wall he goes. The whole back end of that car just gone. The Ferrari is off to the body shop.
Yeah, I think he's going to be needing a little bit more than a buff out on that occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at it from a different view. Just gets caught on the right rear. Not really a lot of runoff here at Adelaide, and absolutely ricochets there. Fair play to the drivers behind for being able to avoid it. Thankfully, right near the pit entrance as well. Toes it back regardless. It's something's happened to be in Cabana as well.
Goodness, I kind of suspected that we may see a lot of incidents here tonight, Zippy, but I was hoping we wouldn't. These curbs at Adelaide in my testing were just absolutely brutal. you get up on those curbs, it's going to throw the car way off balance. Take a look at Ian Cabana coming into the corner.
Oh.
And Ian Cabana just not sure what happened there. Maybe had a little bit of an incident, maybe some little technical issues, but Ian Cabana pulling it off and doing a go-around.
Definitely not the line that he was looking for, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Gonzalo Cortez has managed to pull away from the rest of the pack about 1.5 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, as they're getting more crash warnings popping up. I don't want to be the guy that only shows crashes, but ladies and gentlemen, I have a feeling we're going to have to cover him in a few short moments. But right now, Aaron Morgan, he's down 1 position overall. He started in second. Can he find his way back to the number 15 of Oleg Lovkov? As they're right ahead, he can see the AMG Mercedes just leering, taunting him at this point. But saying that, we're still early on with about 30 minutes left to go.
Yeah, it's been an exciting race thus far. Lots of incidents. The walls of Adelaide not being kind to a lot of our drivers, unfortunately. But nonetheless, we march on, Zippy. We're, like you said, we're on lap 10 now. I project about 35 laps here. They're going to have a pit stop coming up in about anywhere from about 5 to 15 minutes, all depending upon when they choose to do so. Right now, Aaron Morgan having himself a good race up. Or he's down 1 position. He's looking to get back to where he started in second. Oleg Lovkov right ahead of him. Gonzalo Cortez about a second and a half ahead of them.
Yeah, Oleg's doing pretty good so far, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, if you take a look there, Cortez has just absolutely got him licked at the minute. Fair play to him. But what about if we look in the other direction, ladies and gentlemen? Let's see here. Pretty much it depends on which lap is which one is faster, ladies and gentlemen. One up, one down, one up, one down. Ladies and gentlemen, it really could go either way. But don't get me wrong, if these guys keep fighting, potentially could open up an opportunity for Jack Hedgecox and indeed Tyler Graff to get back in the fight. As you can see them starting to battle it out a little bit behind.
Yeah, Tyler Graff and Jack Hedgecox, no strangers to podiums here at Throttle Freaks. Tyler Graff right now sitting in 5th place. He's down 2 positions. Jack Hedgecox moving the other way. He's up 2 positions in 4th. So right now, these drivers trying to close that gap to Aaron Morgan up ahead.
Well, we are going to take a quick look here and find out what on earth has been going with some of these incidents, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like Andy Mills, Drew DeWeese, and Evan Jones are all getting involved in one big incident.
Now take a look on board here. Andy Mills following along here. Andy Mills in the Red Bull livery. Looks like. Oh, it looks like that Porsche just doing Porsche things with the slow spin.
There you go.
Drivers behind coming to a stop. Andy Mills toes to the pits.
Well, it looked like something with Colin McKenzie as well. We saw him, he says that he came out the pits, ladies and gentlemen, and then crashed. So I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe changed his mind, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe the car wasn't fixed up to snuff. What about Christopher Rines, though, in that beautiful BMW?
Yeah, Christopher Rines. Long time racer
incident
here, and yeah, he just came around the corner. The cars were stopped, doing a good job avoiding collecting too much damage. Christopher Rines had to get hard on the binders.
Yeah, fair play to these guys. They did a really good job starting to get them cars slowed down, ladies and gentlemen. But, oh my word, it looks like we've got a freeway fight going on. And it's with another one of the beautiful cars, Neil Alexander, in this occasion, ladies and gentlemen. Sully Saeed right behind, indeed, Tyler Torville looking to make a recovery, who's currently down 5 spots on the day. But don't get me wrong, they've got pace, ladies and gentlemen. They've shown that in qualifying. But can they find their way around in the streets of Adelaide?
Yeah, that's the thing. Pace is one thing. You also have to survive. We've lost about 8 or 9 drivers already, Zip. So right now, these drivers are doing quite well, making up a lot of positions through their hard battling, but also through a little bit of attrition. You got to survive if you want to, get to the finish line. You got to be there when it counts. And right now, these drivers battling hard. Tyler Torville, 22nd place. Drew DeWeese, Evan Jones, 23rd, 24th.
Well, it looks like we got even more battle. Oh my gosh, now here we go, Richard. This is the action we've been looking for. The indeed good call on that one is that it's going to be the mighty, mighty Mustang of Drew DeWeese leading this pack. A beautiful Aston Martin right behind. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I've been here for 10 minutes, but I'm going to have a favourite, and it's going to be the Aston Martin of Evan Jones. I just love the paint scheme, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed, maybe we should put brown on the other side so it could indeed be my underwear should things go a little bit sideways. But right now, Christopher Rhines is going to be applying pressure. He's in the middle of this pack right now. Barry Cochran right behind in what I believe is the only Audi in the field, with Carsten Quint looking to try and capitalise on this as well in that Mustang. Ladies and gentlemen, what a fantastically eclectic field of cars we got here today at Throttle Freaks, but who will emerge victorious? More battles happening further up. Indeed, Neil Alexander still able to hold on from the two Porsches behind, Vasily Saeed and indeed Tyler Tourville.
Yeah, it's good close battling. It doesn't matter where you are here, Zippy. I mean, you could be in first place to second is only a second. They're less than a second between third and fourth. We got battles from first all the way down to the 29th place. So drivers having some good close battling on the tight confines of Adelaide Street Circuit. On board here with Tyler Tourville in 22nd place. Sully Saad ahead of him. Neil Alexander ahead of him. And then ahead of them, they've got Frank Pisano. So, my goodness, 4 cars in a train here. We're, what are we here, Zippy? We're 18 minutes into this race. We're on lap 14 already. And they're still battling nose to tails. They come across the start-finish line. Try one more lap.
Yeah, indeed. We're going to try and get a little bit of an onboard lap here for one of these drivers. It's going to be the driver of the 222, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if he can make his way even closer as he goes through the first chicane. Ladies and gentlemen, absolutely pedal to the metal, flirting with the limits there. You can see the Porsche ahead of Sully Saad trying to get away, ladies and gentlemen. But you can see traffic ahead as well. And it looks like Frank Pisano has become part of this battle as well, leading the pack in the Lamborghini. Ladies and gentlemen, known to be a little bit of a vicious car at times, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly it has got better with the updates, I believe. But don't get me wrong, probably the best sounding GT3 without a doubt. In fact, you know what? It's so good. Let's take a look from the back here of the number 4.
Yeah, but you know, I think they're cheating when they're driving the Lambos. If they get in 2 more cylinders than a lot of the other guys. So that Lamborghini always in every single race at Throttle Freaks. Usually we see David Bush III in here. Oh no, we're coming in. Oh, and a little bit of contact. A bumper gone on one car. Went to turn in, but the car was broken a little too late. Oh my goodness, a little bit of issues back here in 21st, 22nd. Neil Alexander, Frank Pisano, Sully Saad, all involved.
Well, the only person who really emerged victorious that was indeed the driver of the number 79 in that Porsche. Great stuff there, getting through that, ladies and gentlemen. Neil Alexander, though, brings it down pit road. Definitely not what he had in mind. No flag that I can report, but what I can tell you, though, is there is a black flag currently issued to the driver of the 222 car, and it's fair to say the front bumper of that is indeed missing. Now, Richard, I can't say that I know for sure, but is there any incident limit, perhaps, that he may need to serve?
Yeah, there is an incident limit. I'm not sure what it's at, but I would be surprised if he's hit that already, because you're not getting off tracks when you're bouncing off walls typically, Zippy. That's one thing I do like about street circuits. It certainly saves you from incidents, but
challenge accepted.
You know what, Rob and I used to have this thing when we used to be teammates and actually race. In qualifying, we try and knock the mirrors off on the first lap. That way we figured we were a little more aerodynamic for laps 2, 3, and 4 of qualifying. On board here, though, we go with Nick Bruno. Nick Bruno sitting here in 17th place. Let's see what, or sorry, 12th place. My eyes are deceiving me, these old eyes. He's falling along behind Dave Jensen in 11th. So right now we've got 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, 16th, all nose to tail coming down the start finish line.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, for me, I see this as absolute potential here, as this guy is ahead of him, despite the fact he has no front splitter. Those brakes are definitely working, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we could do a little bit more cooling, ladies and gentlemen, as Dale Peterson is currently there in P10 overall. Heading a little bit further back, though, it is going to be Dave Jensen, ladies and gentlemen. I was close, ladies and gentlemen, leading this pack of cars. Ladies and gentlemen, about 5 or 6 cars all looking to try and find their way up to P11, ladies and gentlemen. But right now, it's not just that. We got a battle here in the M class. Dave Jensen, P2 overall. His next nearest competition about 10 seconds up the road in the form of this man, the 744 of James Hand, who's currently in P8 overall.
We're going to get handed to James Hand, amateur driver in the top 10, folks. He's ahead of all the Pro-Ams for that matter. So we've got cars 1 to 7 are pros. Then we have James Hand, amateur, leading a bunch of Pro-Ams. He's got Jerome Berthune behind him, Dale Peterson behind him. So James Hand, hats off to you. You're having a great race. Unfortunately, we don't have the cameras on tonight, folks. But James Hand, usually one of our camera cars.
Well, definitely a little bit closer as it looks like Stephen McLean there brings it in the pits. Definitely caught a few drivers unaware. Thankfully, no damage should result, but potentially an opportunity here for a couple of these drivers. Ryan O'Connor, ladies and gentlemen, under attack here from the Canadian driver of Seb Gauthier, who's currently up 11 spots. And not quite the hard charge, ladies and gentlemen. There's been some movement through the field as Stephen McLean is indeed going down pit road. But your hard charger right now, if I'm not mistaken, is this man, the driver of the number 523, that Ford Mustang of Drew DeWeese.
Yeah, 16 positions, starting 37th up into 21st. That's quite impressive driving by Drew DeWeese, taking advantage of some others' misfortunes, but also making his own opportunities count. So Drew DeWeese on a charge, folks. He's now looking at Frank Pisano up in 19th place ahead of him. Looking for a little bit more. He's going to have to make up about 8 seconds, though. So Drew DeWeese got a little bit of pressure from Evan Jones. Open track ahead of him. Time to put the hammer down.
Indeed, he does, as it looks like Ryan O'Connor and Seb Gauthier are indeed going at it, ladies and gentlemen. Jay Steffi looking to get in the mix as well. We got a 4-5-way fight here for P13. I want to wonder, are we going to see another incident, or is the Lambo going to be able to hold on? Lamborghini, Porsche, Mustang, and indeed Ferrari mixing it up there, as that's one of them down the pits. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a Mustang of Jeff Evans taking down pit road.
Yeah, we're well into the pit window now. We're about halfway through this race. We got Seb Gauthier, no stranger to Throttle Freaks. Seb Gauthier always having fans in the audience, riding those curves, keeping it nice and tight. Seb Gauthier all over the back of Ryan O'Connor. Nick Bruno just up ahead of them. Drivers going around the right corner. Looks like a lap car moving out of the way, letting the drivers get through. Very nice, courteous driving there.
Yeah, that was Neil Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, I recognize that car because it's one of the ones that I really like the paint job of. But indeed, you can see here Ryan O'Connor looking to try and find his way up and indeed away as Robert Jeffries had that incident as well. He's further back in the field, ladies and gentlemen, currently there in P31. 1500 IR, power to him. He's going to have to be working hard in this lobby. I can't drive with these guys. They're too quick for me, ladies and gentlemen. But certainly, Richard, remind me of what it is your particular slogan is, sir.
Yeah. Well, like I said, Zippy, this is a race of attrition here for most of the field. So, I may not be fast, but I last, and that's what these drivers are having to do. Finish off as we come in through. Gonzalo Cortez making his scheduled stop. First of our leaders. He's going to come out. Right now, he's down to 8th place. We'll see where everything shakes out once all the pit stops are done. Gonzalo Cortez now, first of the leaders to pit. Going to set the time to be. He was just over 14 seconds in his stall. 38.5 seconds from cone to cone. The other drivers are going to have to beat that if they want to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, Ryan O'Connor taking down pit road as well. Don't get me wrong, the battle is good fun, but sometimes the undercut can be absolutely valuable here. As it looks like Ian Cabana bringing it to a stop, ladies. That is incredibly, I'm going to say dangerously courteous, ladies and gentlemen. While the 4 is nice, I definitely would not suggest doing that in terms of being lap traffic, ladies and gentlemen. Just go off your line, give it a little bit of lift, and give the car a chance to go by, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit like that. Look, there you go. Much better. Tuck in behind a faster guy, indeed, see if it opens up an opportunity for you. But right now, let's take a look here with Nick Bruno. He's still right behind the rear wing of Dave Jensen for the 692.
Yeah, still right in behind him, and these guys. We got 3 cars coming side by side. Hard braking zone here. We're looking at Jay Steffi. Jay Steffi is battling along with Seb Gauthier, and no stranger to see these 2 drivers battling hard. Seb Gauthier, on-time member of Throttle Freaks, also the best mugshot in the business. Seb Gauthier all over the back of Jay Steffi. These 2 drivers battling hard, nose to tail.
Indeed, an absolutely fantastic fight. I think it was a little bit of lap traffic getting in their way earlier on as well, ladies and gentlemen. So fair to say they were keen for them to get out of the way. Thankfully, dispatcher, ladies and gentlemen, is James Hand now currently showing in P7 overall. He's having a good race so far. Yet to make a pit, but right behind him is, if you remove the pit stops, is Gonzalo Cortez. He is indeed, I'd say, leader on aggregate. We'll go with that. He is the highest placed person to make his pit stop. The next nearest competition to him would be Stephen McLean. He's currently back there in P18. A summit has happened with Jay Steffi, and indeed, Steffi's in the pits. What about Seb? Let's find out here with a quick replay.
Looks like right now, Jay Steffi coming around the corner. Everything looking okay here. Seb Gauthier coming up. And Jay Steffi just doing a little bit of a self-spin. doing a great job to avoid that with Seb Gauthier and the cars in behind them. That's going to put Jay Steffi back a little bit, and not something he was hoping for. Going to go do his service now. Looks like he's in there for a little while, though.
Yeah, he towed to the pits, which don't get me wrong, admirable, but definitely not necessarily the quickest way to get back to the pits by all means. Certainly the tow truck drivers are a little bit on the slower side, but right now your race leader is indeed Oleg Lovkov. But we're keeping an eye here on Tyler Graf because he's been having a good fight here with Stephen McDonald. These guys have been pretty close so far. As I say that, though, on iRating, what a difference, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of zippy math here, but about 5,600 iRating in the difference alone.
Yeah, that's one thing. The iRating shows how you do in officials historically, what your overall performance is. Has nothing to do with your league racing. A lot of these drivers, you may find, do 95% of their racing in league, so their iRating is not necessarily going to be affected. So, taking a look on board here, Steve McDonald in 5th place. That's where he started. He's got Tyler Graf ahead of him. Tyler Graf sitting in 4th, down 1 position. Right now, we are well underway. We're 27.5 minutes into this 45-minute race. Drivers are trying to make their place, and a lot of these drivers up here, almost all of these drivers up here in the top 15, still have their pit stop to go, except for Gonzalo Cortez.
Yeah, he's definitely looking pretty good so far, having made that pit stop. The undercut can be really, really valuable, but what is going to be a problem potentially for him is the lap traffic ahead, ladies and gentlemen. As indeed, you can see there, that beautiful Aston Martin is going to be next on the chopping block, realistically, and I believe that's Ian Cabana just ahead of him. No, my apologies. It's certainly a car I recognize.
That would be... Yeah, that is Ian Cabana there. Following along here right now with Ian Cabana just moving over. Ian Cabana having a little bit of issues earlier on. Jack Hedgecoke's getting by him, so continuing on, Jack Hedgecoke's is sitting now in 3rd place overall. Pit stop still to come from him. I think he's going to net out to about 4th.
Right now, certainly Tyler Graf is going to be keen here to try and get past the lap traffic here of Ian ahead in that Ferrari, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly he's been good, but saying that, that's one way of doing it, ladies and gentlemen. Takes down pit road. As does Oleg Lovkov.
Yep, definitely. If you got traffic ahead of you, you've got to pit in the next lap or two. You may as well come in now. Don't lose that valuable second that you may lose trying to get by. So right now we've got a few of our leaders in. Oleg Lovkov, Tyler Graf, both in the pits. So matter of who's going to jump out first. Brett Thurman also coming into the pit. So the pit fuel window looks like we've down to our last lap or two here, Zippy.
Yeah, certainly if you've been saving some fuel, it's going to run out really soon, ladies and gentlemen. They must be running a slightly compromised fuel tank, indeed, just to encourage that pit stop. But we do have a new race leader. It's going to be the driver of the number 48 car in that pretty much pop art liveried Porsche, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way I'm going to describe it. And I've got to say, absolutely loving the paint, ladies and gentlemen, from Aaron Morgan there. He's currently leading the race. Now, don't get me wrong, I do not know the point schedule here for Throttle Freaks, but potentially it could be a little bit of an extra bonus for him here if he can bring it over the checkered flag.
Yeah, Aaron Morgan and Tyler Graf, both in Porsches, always having those extremely decorative paint jobs, and always a pleasure watching them. We'll take a look on board. Kevin Bergquist is 8th place right now. Kevin Bergquist, and now he's up to the amateur point. So Kevin Bergquist in the lead for amateur at this stage. We'll see where everything shakes out once Kevin completes his pit stop.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's an image I didn't need. It was Richard Swindell shaking out, ladies and gentlemen, but you're welcome for that image right now. But right now, James Hand very much in control of the M-Class lead, ladies and gentlemen. But indeed, battles happening throughout, as it looks like Nick Bruno has been able to pull away there from Dave Jensen. Got the undercut done going through the pits, ladies and gentlemen. About 3 seconds quicker down pit road. So it's fair to say he did manage to save a little bit of fuel. As that's Dale Peterson right ahead. That AMG definitely been compromised the entire race, but is it going to be enough for the Porsche to be able to make his way ahead?
Well, that's one thing to be seen, Zippy. That's why we're racing. These drivers are battling hard here, but we're going to take a look up a little bit further up. We've got Aaron Morgan following along with Aaron Morgan in behind Gonzalo Cortez. He's closed up that gap considerably, Zippy. Looks like they're less than a second here behind. He's about 3/4 of a second. So right now, Gonzalo Cortez, this is going to be for the lead, I believe, folks, once the other pits are happen. So Gonzalo Cortez, Aaron Morgan. Looks like Oleg Levkov, though, is up ahead of them still, Zippy.
Yeah, it looks like Steve
What
McDonald
happened
is
there?
going to be the only one left to pit. But looking at the pit timings, indeed, Oleg Lovkov was about roughly 2.5 seconds quicker down pit road, ladies and gentlemen. And indeed, that could be enough. All he's got to do is keep the pace up right now. Indeed, Gonzalo Cortez is not yet out of the woods, ladies and gentlemen, but certainly he's got potential. If we look at the last couple of laps here, there's not really a lot in it. I think if anything could go on best lap alone, 0.06 of a second between them.
Yeah, that's something to keep your eye on, folks. Oleg Lovkov. He was considerably quicker in pit lane than pretty much everybody else in the field. Hopefully he's got enough fuel to get to the end. I would like to think so. If so, he dialed that right perfectly because he picked up a tremendous amount of time, taking over the race lead through pit strategy.
Indeed, but we're going to have to see how lap traffic works out for him there. That Lamborghini potentially being a little bit of a nuisance for him. The Solpec driver will be keen to get that car up and away, unless he wants to try and save a bit of fuel. As nope, there goes lap traffic, ladies and gentlemen. Indeed, the gap remains about 2.2 seconds with roughly 12.5 minutes left to go in this race.
Man, oh man, I did not see that coming. And that's one thing, Zippy, the undercut can be beneficial, but man, you get caught in traffic. And it's going to bite you. Oleg Lovkov up to point. Gonzalo Cortez having himself a battle with Aaron Morgan in behind them for second.
Oh, you say that now. Yep, Aaron Morgan now getting into the mix as well. And right behind him, Stephen McDonald. Now, he did pit on the last lap. His teammate is there in first, ladies and gentlemen. This could be absolutely huge. Jack Hedgecock in the Ferrari right behind. We are going to have a five-way battle for the end, ladies and gentlemen. And certainly, you got to wonder as well, can the teammate of Stephen McDonald not just be able to get ahead of these guys? Can he try and get ahead enough to basically try and leave a little bit of an opportunity here for the driver of the number 15 car? The two AMGs working together almost in a Mercedes livery themselves here. Very reminiscent of the Formula 1, that beautiful black livery there. Is it going to be enough here for potentially a double podium for the Solpec team?
Well, that remains to be seen. We shall see. Right now, we've got about 11 and a half minutes left of racing, projected maybe another 9 laps or so. So lots of time here to shake things out. Drivers got to start making some moves, though, quickly if they want to get up there towards the podium.
Yeah, definitely, you can see there lap traffic is definitely going to be part of it. Gonzalo flashing there on the lights. But the lap traffic, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that they're slow, ladies and gentlemen. It just means they may have had an incident earlier on the race. We'll have to try and work out exactly which... Oh, no! That's exactly what we didn't want to happen, ladies and gentlemen. As indeed, lap traffic is dispensed and out of the way. Gonzalo able to keep going, ladies and gentlemen, but the whole time that's gone on, Oleg Lovkov has pulled away to now a 3-second gap, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the opportunity he's been looking for at Adelaide.
Yeah, it looks like Frank Pisano was trying to... was kind of a little bit of cork in that bottle there, being lap traffic. Didn't quite give enough room, and Gonzalo Cortez sent it up the inside, a little bit of contact. It looks like he got away with it, though, with Aaron Morgan as well. Jack Hedgecoach sitting in 5th place, falling along behind this pack of 3 cars. So Jack Hedgecoach sitting there looking for an opportunity. He's too far away to make a move, but if something happens to those drivers ahead of him, he's right there for the taking.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity, but right now, James Hand, though, we're going to keep an eye on that. He's currently leading the AM class, ladies and gentlemen. He's got it pretty much in the bag. He just needs to finish cleanly ahead of Nick Bruno, who's about 5 seconds back, roughly. In the Pro-Am class, Jerome Berfium, he's currently there. He's looking pretty solid at the minute. Another one of the Solpec drivers, ladies and gentlemen, and he's got about 3.4 seconds to Dale Peterson. He's going to be pretty preoccupied with Nick Bruno right behind him, albeit in different class, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of an update there for you, but we are indeed going to return further up through the field here as Stephen McDonald now, he's got Jack Hedgecoach right behind him.
Yeah, Jack Hedgecoach saying no time like the present, so Jack Hedgecoach starting to apply a little pressure to Stephen McDonald. Jack Hedgecoach up 1 position on the day, Steve McDonald up 1 position of the day. Right now, Jack Hedgecoach looking for 1 more, so these cars are in 4th and 5th, battling hard for 4th position. We've got Aaron Morgan up ahead in 3rd, Gonzalo Cortez ahead of them in 2nd. The leader, Oleg Lovkov.
Oh, lost a lot.
A nice gap of 1.8 seconds.
Yeah, he had that gap up to about 3 seconds before, ladies and gentlemen, so I'm not quite sure what's happened there with Oleg. Maybe got a little bit caught up with lap traffic, maybe not carrying enough fuel to go, ladies and gentlemen, with 9 minutes left. If he has to pit, it's pretty much game over for him. And certainly, this could be a huge opportunity to score some points here in the Throttle Freaks Championship. But for how long, ladies and gentlemen? He's got 9 minutes left to do it, and he's got 1.5 seconds between himself and Gonzalo Cortez.
Yeah, not a whole lot of time left for this race to go. We'll have to see as the race winds down whether Oleg Lovkov is backing off to conserve fuel or not. Right now, though, he's still got about a 1.5-second gap over Gonzalo Cortez, Aaron Morgan in behind him, Steve McDonald, Jack Edgecoats rounding out your top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. As I say that, there's a pass there further back. They're going side by side. Is Hedgecoats going to be able to get it done? It looks like he has. He made his way into the right-hander. Can Stephen McDonald fight back? His teammate is there leading the race. He's not really been able to do much on the team point of view. He's not been able to get involved in the battle there, but the pair of them falling back from P3 of Aaron Morgan.
Yeah, Aaron Morgan loving what he's seeing in behind him. That lets him concentrate on Gonzalo Cortez ahead of him, not having to worry about losing 3rd place. So right now, podium's pretty much wrapped up. We're going to watch this pass here. Jack Edgecoat coming in, sending it deep, diving up the inside, late braking, going side by side, nice lean racing. That's putting Steve McDonald out onto the curbs. Steve McDonald having to relinquish the position.
Absolutely beautiful pass there by the 88 car of Jack Edgecoats. But indeed, Steve McDonald is not going to take it lying down. Ladies and gentlemen, it has got even closer at the front of the pack. You can see there the gap down to about 1.4 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. That's lap traffic in the mix as well. You see there in the background, Stephen McDonald. He's not done with that Ferrari yet. He'd like to get a piece of the action. That is indeed a lap car between them. Things are starting to spice up, ladies and gentlemen, and indeed further back as well, we have a whole chain going from P10 all the way down to about P16, ladies and gentlemen, fighting to get that final top 10 spot.
Yeah, Throttle Freaks, it never disappoints. Good close racing up and down the field, whether you're battling for 1st, 2nd, 16th, or 17th. My goodness gracious, Zippy. Here we are. We're running it down here. We're down to 6 minutes, 50 seconds left. Picking up with Evan Jones, giving a little bit of a nudge to Christopher Rhines ahead of him. These drivers still battling hard for 20th place.
Yeah, fair play to him. Certainly, we saw Evan Jones get involved in an incident earlier on, I believe. But right now, I believe Carsten Quint may be the hard charger of the field. He's up 17 spots, ladies and gentlemen. Fair play to him. But we are indeed going to return to the battle here. There we go. They're at it again. Jack Hedgecoat serving a yellow flag, ladies and gentlemen. He's got to slow down. He's cleared that now, but that is exactly the opportunity Steve McDonald was looking for. Yeah,
that's rather not used to seeing that out of Jack, unfortunately, but Steve McDonald taking full advantage of that situation. Easiest way to make a pass is when the other driver has to let off. Now that's going to put the pressure on Jack Hedgecoats to try and get that position back. Right now, we're running out of time. We're 5 minutes, 55 seconds left. We're in lap 30. We're projected 35, so we just got 5 more laps after this one, Zippy. Not a lot of action still to come. We'll see how this all finishes off.
Yeah, well, right now I have a feeling this man is going to be sweating a little bit. Oleg Lovkov in that number 15 car. The gap was 3 seconds. It was 2.5. It was 1.5, and it's down to about a second. Ladies and gentlemen, Gonzalo Cortez is catching up, and he's almost in the range of the draft, ladies and gentlemen. You can see there it's going to be a couple of lap traffic cars ahead of him. James Hand there picking up a slowdown as well. Jeff Evans and indeed Josh Cohen. All of these guys getting a little bit of love there from the marshals, but right now you can see there he's been picking away. The number 9 car has been taking a little bit out of Oleg Lovkov every single lap, as it looks like he's going to try and make it even quicker here as he goes through lap traffic. Gonzalo trying to follow through as well.
Yeah, this is certainly a lot of exciting racing. Oleg Lovkov following along here right now on board with Gonzalo Cortez. Gonzalo Cortez, he's having himself a very good race. He's catching up to Oleg, but man, oh man, what's going on here? We've got Herbert Pineda lap car up ahead of them, so looks like right now Oleg Lovkov is unreasonably and unsuspectingly liking following behind the lap traffic. I suspect he's a little low on fuel, Zippy, and having to save. Getting a little bit of a draft behind Herbert Pineda right now certainly will help him. Herbert Pineda usually has good pace, had some issues early on.
Yeah, it's definitely not not in the position he wanted to be in, that's for sure. He's currently in P24 overall though, which honestly, in a 41 car field, that's a solid mid-pack. It's definitely better than I would do, but fair play to him. I've got to say, we've seen a mixture of drivers here when it comes to lap traffic, but right now, in the back as well, Jack Hedgecoat just caught back up to the number 65 of Stephen McDonald. These guys are going to be fighting out yet again there, but we're going to return to the lead battle as Gonzalo Cortez has now got it under half a second, ladies and gentlemen, with under 4 minutes left to go.
Oh, the brakes are just roasting out there, Zippy. Did you see how red they were on board with Gonzalo Cortez? Gonzalo Cortez following along behind Oleg Lovkov. Herbert Pineda still up ahead. He is not in the way at this stage, folks. He's just kind of clearing the air for Oleg Lovkov. So we got a battle 1 and 2. Lap car up ahead of them. We're running out of time. We are 3.5 minutes left to go. I suspect we're going to have 3 laps left after this one. Going back a little further in the field, Dale Peterson up to 11th place right now. Dale Peterson with Dave Jensen in behind him.
Well, indeed, we've now got a matching set of bumperless Mercedes at the front of the pack, well, at the front of this pack, ladies and gentlemen, as it looks like Seb Gauthier, I believe that's going to say, I had to guess that's his wife, ladies and gentlemen, Valerie there in the chat saying go, and I've got to say, I'm going to cheer for him as well. Good job, Valerie, definitely winning the award for supportive partner there, as indeed, he's looking to try and make his way, not just up past Dave Jensen, but see if he can make the best of Dave Peterson there, who is his next rival in class for the Pro-Ams.
Yeah, Seb's always bringing his own fan club, and we get little hints and tips coming out from Valerie from time to time. Gail Peterson sitting in 11th place right now. Dave Jensen in behind him, Seb Gauthier in behind them. We're going to go back up towards the front, though. It looks like Jack Edgecote's got by Steve McDonald once again. Let's take a look on the board and see what happened in the replay. This little sweeping right-hander. It's not quite full out, but Jack Edgecote's almost made it. So just blasting by Steve McDonald.
Yeah, definitely. He's been really good on the brakes in that Ferrari. Fair play to him. Certainly, the AMG, I'd say, pretty balanced car by all means. But the Ferrari seems to be definitely have a little bit of an advantage under the braking there. And it's fair to say he's done well. He's already managed to clear about 0.8 of a second on Stephen McDonald. But I do have to wonder as well, though, how's this battle going to go? We've got under 2 minutes to go, and Gonzalo Cortez has not been able to get any closer, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe he's waiting for a last-minute move, but honestly, I think he's running out of time as Dave Jensen, ladies and gentlemen, has had to come down pit road.
Yeah, I don't know why Dave Jensen, whether he had hit incident limit or whether he was really low on fuel. That car certainly seen better days. That drive-through penalty must have had the incident limit. He's coming out, though, with the leaders. A little flash of the lights. Going wide. Oh, my goodness. He coming right out. Gonzalo Cortez on the line. Hits him. Oh, that's going to let Oleg Lovkov go right up. Aaron Morgan up to second. Jack Edge goes to third. Gonzalo Cortez, he's gone to the pits. His race is over, folks.
Oh, here you go. Let's take a replay here from Gonzalo Cortez. You can see the AMG just comes across. He's not ready for it, and that is tragic. Oh, my gosh. That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, Gonzalo Cortez, all that time in preparation, all that good, hard racing, laps led. Got beat in the pits, was coming up hard, and his race is over. Timing just not working out for him, unfortunately.
That is definitely unfortunate there. I do feel for him indeed. But right now, this is going to be good news here for Jack Hedgecock, as that's moved him up into P3, ladies and gentlemen. Certainly, he's been working hard in that Ferrari. Is it going to be enough, though? We got less than a minute to go. I got to say, the hard luck award definitely going to be going to the driver, the number 9.
Yeah, it certainly is rather unfortunate. We're on lap 34. We've got this and one more left, folks. We're going to take a look. Oleg Lovkov getting the white flag from Barney. We are last lap. Oleg Lovkov leading along ahead of Aaron Morgan. He's got an over second gap. In behind them, 2.5 seconds back, is Jack Edgecote. So right now, our podium finishers, unless something changes, Oleg Lovkov, Aaron Morgan, Jack Hedgecote.
Yeah, definitely looking like a good podium, ladies and gentlemen. It's fair to say, Oleg Lovkov has worked hard today. It wasn't gifted by any means, had the superior pit strategy, and it's fair to say it paid off for him. But right now, he's just a couple of corners away from victory. The 7,011 IR rated driver in the AMG Mercedes, driving for Soul Pack, ladies and gentlemen, is looking to try and bring home another fantastic win here, this time at Adelaide.
Yeah, Oleg Lovkov's run a fabulous race. I didn't think he had enough fuel. And, well, that still remains to be seen. He's still got a couple corners to go. But Oleg Lovkov is now leading. Aaron Morgan is closing that gap. He's less than a second behind. So Oleg Lovkov is slowing down dramatically here, Zippy. We may have an interesting finish here.
Yeah, his last lap was a 121. That's definitely way off pace, ladies and gentlemen. I believe he is literally limping that car to the line as there is lap traffic there, pretty much stopping and saying, you know what, I'll cross behind the leaders. I don't want to do an extra lap. But fair play, Oleg Lovkov brings it across the line. And indeed, Aaron Morgan is great in the pop-up Porsche, ladies and gentlemen, to get second with Jack Hedgecote working very hard in third. But oh my gosh, what happened near the end? Stephen McDonald dropped another position as well.
Yeah, we had some issues going on. Let's take a little replay, see if we can take a look here. Tyler Graff coming up all over the back of Steve McDonald. He swings it out wide. Oh,
Didn't have the
my
fuel.
goodness. Yeah, just putt, and
Yoink.
that's it. You can hear it gasping for air.
Well, that's definitely a bonus there for Tyler Graff. Fair play to the guy as well. He can go home saying he's just beaten a guy who's about 6,500, 6,600 I rating more than him. That's definitely, that's a flex, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to say, what an absolutely fabulous race here today at Adelaide.
Yeah, that our first experience here at Adelaide, Zippy, and it did not disappoint. Lots of action, good, hard, close racing. The walls took their toll, the curbs took their toll, but overall, a lot of excitement.
Yeah, definitely a very, very, very busy race indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fantastic stuff here at Adelaide. I've got to say, it's been an absolute pleasure being a guest here in the booth. But first of all, we do want to wish Rob Campbell does indeed a speedy recovery, ladies and gentlemen, as right now we are indeed going to be getting ready for them results very, very shortly.
Yeah, we're just waiting for timing scoring to wrap things up and let us know officially what happened. And then we'll get to some interviews, folks. So if you're in the top 3 in one of the classes, come on in board and we'll see if we can get you in the booth.
Well, Richard, I'm nominating you to do all of the interviews on this one. I'm going to have enough to play with. We'll see. I might steal one at the end, but definitely going to be a little bit busy here in the booth. And I got to say, it's nice to be in here. It's definitely a little bit different. I got to be honest. It's like I've got somebody else's shoes on, but the racing was great, and certainly we've had the pleasure of having Throttle Freaks. I've worked with them before, and you know what? The strength of field in there is it's absolutely insane. And I got to say, fair play to these guys, and fair play as well to Racers Nexus. I mean, these guys do a beautiful job on the graphical side as well.
Hey, not to mention the commentary is pretty good too, Azip.
I mean, could be better. We got me in here, right?
And me, but we do our best, folks. We try to entertain. We try to let you know what action is going on. We're still waiting for timing scoring to give us the results. But here we go. Officially, the race results are official now. Oleg Lovka, our winner, with Aaron Morgan coming in second. Jack Hedgecote rounds out the podium. Tyler Graff in fourth. And then we had Steve McDonald in fifth. Brett Thurman in sixth, all pros. And then we have Mr. James Hand from the UK. Our amateur driver coming in seventh, Jerome Berthume in eighth as a pro-am. Then we have Dale Peterson in ninth and Seb Gauthier in 10th.
Let's have a look there. In 11th, we had Stephen McLean with Kevin Bequist in 12th. Jeff Evans took 13th with Nick Breno in 14th, with Brian O'Connor in 15th. Sully Sad, he took 16th with Rank Pisano in 17th, and Christopher Rhines in 18th. Having a look a little bit further down, though, closing out 19th was Evan Jones with Carsten Quint in 20th.
Yeah, 21st, we have Gonzalo Cortez, unfortunate end to his race. 22nd, Herbert Pineda with issues early on. 23rd, Ian Cabana, Jay Steffi, 24th, Dave Jensen, 25th, Neil Alexander, 26th, Andrew Venaro, 27th. 28th, we have Drew DeWeese, then Josh Gowen, Colin McKenzie, Barry Cochran, Sean Provo, Andy Mills, Todd Tourville, Tyler Tourville, Robert Jeffries, Matt Taylor, James Keane, all having earlier issues.
Yeah, definitely a few drivers there, ladies and gentlemen, but that is indeed going to close out your results. Rich, who have you managed to find for an interview?
Well, I think we're going to have to bring in Oleg Lovkov. Let me see if we can drag him into the booth here. Hey, Oleg, can you hear me? It's Richard in the booth.
Hello, Richard. It's Oleg. I can hear you.
Well, congratulations on a great victory tonight. Man, oh man, we weren't sure you had enough fuel to get to the end. Your pit stop certainly leapfrogged you ahead of Gonzalo Cortez, but you seem to be struggling at the end with fuel. Are we correct?
I was also struggling with a broken wheel. I did hit that fateful, what was it, turn 12, I think? The barrier on the outside, the left-hander, whatever, somewhere.
Oh, no.
I hit the barrier early on. So I was nestling that as well. And yes, saving a lot because, I don't know, Gonzalo was just very quick, and it's unfortunate what happened in the end as well.
Yeah, that was rather unfortunate ending. Looked like you had the race well in control if you had enough fuel. You guys had a good battle all race long. Have you done much racing at Adelaide before tonight?
Well, I did purchase it for this race about 15 minutes before the start of the session, so yes.
There you go. You've had a lot of experience. I mean, you know, between you, Zippy in the production booth, and myself, I think I had the track the longest, and I only had it for about 2 hours. So,
okay, you win.
Congratulations on your yeah, congratulations on your victory tonight. Quite exciting to watch. That should help you out in the points. You're sitting 4th overall after week 1. That should certainly move you up. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, Oleg?
Yeah, big thanks to the team, Solpec Precision Racing, all the boys, all the sponsors. Yeah, we really had a good showing today as well. So, going to try and keep it strong the rest of the season.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you next week, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay, Zippy, that was Oleg. I think I'm going to just mix it up a little bit here, Zippy. I'm going to go to our top amateur. We're going to see if we can drag Mr. James Hand into the booth. Hey, James, Richard here in the booth. Can you hear me?
Hello.
Hey, congratulations, James. Quite the impressive drive for you this night. Not only were you the top amateur, 7th overall. You must be thrilled.
Buzzing, mate, buzzing. Got into the top 10. I'm well happy with that.
Well, I certainly would be as well. You know, I'm an amateur driver myself. Zippy is as well in the booth.
That's a compliment.
We've watched you on. We watch you on camera many times, and we didn't have the cams working tonight, so we didn't get to see you sweat. But you had some good battling. I mean, you're holding off some fast drivers behind you, like Jerome Berthiaume, and you're right up there with Brett Thurman and stuff. Did you do a lot of practicing for tonight?
Put loads of practice in. I was worried about hitting the walls and stuff and my pace. But yeah, I put a lot of hours into practicing, and I didn't think I was going to get this far up. But like I said, I'm absolutely happy with it.
Well, yeah, I mean, not only did you race well, you finished well, you qualified well, so that set you up. Next week, certainly a different track. I'm not even sure where we're going next week, but we hopefully will get to see you in the booth again. I think this may be your first or second visit, and we're always appreciative that you put that camera on for us. So congratulations, James. Anybody you'd like to thank tonight?
Just basically all the organisers and you guys who broadcast it. You put an amazing job on. I just love being here.
No, but we like having you here as well, James. Thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
See you there.
Who are you
Okay,
feeling
Zippy,
next?
that was our. Well, I think we're gonna go with mix it up a little bit here. Well, we're not mixing it up, but let's bring in Aaron Morgan here.
Oh, I got to say, Aaron.
Hey, Aaron.
Sorry, Rich, I'm stealing one.
Yep. Go ahead.
Hey, Aaron, great to have you here on Racist Nexus, and I got to say, that pop-out liveried Porsche looking absolutely dazzling. So dazzling indeed, you piloted it from P2 to P2. Sir, that is an absolutely fantastic job. Certainly Adelaide, a challenging circuit indeed. What was your strategy coming into this race?
My real plan was just try to qualify as best as I could and then avoid getting as many slowdowns as I could. I can't say I did as well at that as I hoped to, but you know, in the end I kind of was lucky when I got them. I had gaps behind, so I didn't lose any positions from them. Maybe I lost one in the end because of how close the finish was, but not on track at least.
Well, certainly we've seen the undercut can sometimes be quite the technique here. Myself, not in your level of GT3 driving, sir. You'd be in a different class than me. I mean, Rich had the compliment saying that I would be an amateur driver, which I thought was quite the compliment indeed. But yourself, you're a pro, for good reason, sir. And indeed a P2 in a 41 plus car grid. Ladies and gentlemen, such a high strength field as well. What would be your strategy here in terms of in fuel management?
I just wanted to get enough to go to the end and not worry about it. So I set the what's it called? The delta to it pretty high. Yeah, the auto fuel pretty high, and I just wanted to overcut as much as I could and try to just make it to the end, really.
Well, fair play. It definitely paid off for you. Second overall, and indeed beating some pretty high iRating players here today. Some drivers of incredible talents. But Aaron, before we let you go, is there anybody you'd like to shout out for today's fantastic performance?
Well, thanks, of course, to the league and everyone for putting it on, and I want to thank Tyler for making the paint and getting me to join up and actually do this. I've been out of racing for quite a while. I used to race IndyCar with him in Lionheart, and it's been a few years, so I'm glad to be back.
Now, obviously, that skill set has indeed not faded, and certainly you made that paint look really good on the screen. By all means, definitely watch that broadcast, and indeed, share that paint around. That looks absolutely fantastic. Not that I could pull off a paint of that caliber, but ladies and gentlemen, your second place overall, and indeed second place in the pro race, what's his name? In the pro class, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Aaron Morgan.
Thanks, guys.
I think, Zip, now that we've done that, let's bring in our leading Pro-Am driver. We're going to talk to Jerome Berthiaume. Jerome, congratulations on the victory tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. I was not expecting that, so I'm very happy with the win.
It was a tough battling out there at Adelaide. Quite the brutal track for some drivers, but you managed to navigate to the tight confines. 8th place overall, top in the Pro-Am class. What was your secret tonight to such success?
Just keep it clean, keep it smooth. That was really the secret. Lifting, I was lifting and not over pushing the car, not over braking the car. That was really the secret. I mean, I got caught. I think it's lap 3 or 4 into a wreck in the last sector, but I managed to get around it just with the slight bumper damage. But I was still able to continue and still put some good laps. So yeah, very happy with this result.
Yeah, I would say so. I would be as well, Jerome. Nice to have you in the booth. It's been a few weeks since we've managed to catch you in here. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out tonight to?
Yeah, sure. Thanks to you for the broadcast. Thanks to the league. Amazing league. Very fun to race in this league. Thanks to our sponsors, Solpec, Abruzzi, Virtual Mindset, Cosworth. Thanks to my teammate. Congrats to Oleg who get the win tonight. So yeah, very good result for the team. Very happy with the result.
Excellent. Well, congratulations once again. We'll see you next week, Jerome.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Well, Zippy, that's one more person down. Let's maybe take a look on board with our second place amateur, Mr. Stephen McLean. Stephen McLean. Let's see if we can get him into the booth. Hey, Stephen. Richard in the booth here. Can you hear me?
Hey, guys. Yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Well, congratulations on your result tonight. Second in amateur, 11th overall. Up 7 positions on the day. You had yourself a good race tonight.
Oh, yeah, it was all skill, no luck involved at all.
I love the honesty. I love the honesty. The tight confines of Adelaide, you driving around in the Lambo, not necessarily the easiest handling car over those big curves. But, you know, you set yourself up. You qualified in 18th in the top half of the field. You drove relatively cleanly, and, I mean...
Yeah, that was the goal, to try to survive and be clean. And in the end, I think it did pay off. I think I was actually faster. The Lambo was really good in the corners. So I was faster than a couple guys through the corners every single time. I had to reserve myself and not try to get into a bad position, not try to get in the way, like in an inside corner or something. And in the end, I think it paid off because the guys in front of me were battling too much and they had to pit for certain penalties. So it worked out.
You're really quick in the pits. Were you a little light on fuel? Were you conserving fuel, or did it just kind of work out that way?
I have no idea. I didn't even reduce my fuel limit, and then I ran out of fuel at the end. So I don't know what's going on with the fuel thing. But yeah.
Well, it all worked out. You ran out at the end, so you made it across. You got second place. We look forward to seeing what happens with you next week, Stephen. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
Yep, my family, you know, my team, Ace Motorsports. We having a ball. We're growing team. We're a good group of guys. We just picked up a couple more new guys, and it's all word of mouth. Buddies bringing buddies over, and we practice together. And I'm just glad I started this team. It's been a blast so far, and I think we're gonna keep going.
Well, awesome. That's the way the hobby and the sport grows, and. Congratulations on your second place finish tonight once again. The first place Lambo, so there's another kudos to you in the great livery, Ace Motorsports. We'll see you next week, Stephen.
Appreciate it, guys. See ya.
Okay, Zippy, I'm gonna pull in somebody a little earlier than normal. I'm gonna pull in Seb Gauthier. Hey Seb, Richard in the booth here. Congratulations, third place in Pro-Am. Your cheering section cheering you on YouTube, on the feed. Pretty good race overall.
Yeah, man, that qualifying was something else, though. I just couldn't get it. Like, I was second in practice, I think. I had really good pace here, but yeah, I just couldn't get a clean lap. And I don't know if I was on the. I took out Jared in qualifying too. Jared Keane. I don't know if you guys caught that. Hopefully not. Man, it was a mess. But yeah, it was a good race. Super happy with the finish. I'm surprised I'm third, but yeah, happy.
Yeah, well, you made up 15 positions after that tough qualifying effort. We watched you having some good battles. Steve McLean. Exciting race. What are your thoughts on Adelaide after having driven this race?
Yeah, I really like. It's a fun track. I'll leave it at that. It's I mean, I need a rest now because it's exhausting. But yeah.
You know what? I'm a big fan myself, Seb of street circuits, and I did 7 or 8 laps of practice before tonight just so I could familiarize myself. Those curbs are brutal.
Yeah. The Porsche handles it fairly well. I mean, I tried. This was the track I practiced the most, probably during the off season, and it was between this and the Mustang, and I stuck with the Porsche. I find it kind of handled some of the curbs a little bit better, which goes against what you'd think, but I don't know, for me, anyways.
Well, congratulations on making up so many positions, getting third place despite that qualifying effort. We look forward to seeing you next week. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to?
I think Jacob Fickner. I think he was in the. He was probably watching the YouTube, probably watching the race. He's out on the trip. He's a buddy of mine. We lived in the same town. So yeah.
We do see a Jay giving us some shout outs, so I assume that must be Jacob. So
probably, yeah.
Jacob, we hear you, we see you, and congratulations again, Seb. We'll see you next week.
All right, bud. Take it easy.
Thanks. Okay, we will bring in Dale Peterson. Dale Peterson came in second in Pro-Am. Dale Peterson, congratulations, second place in Pro-Am tonight.
Thanks, guys. Not really what I was expected after my incident on the second lap, but somehow managed to get it to the end.
Well, you certainly had the most decorative car out there for the majority of the laps. The Mercedes wasn't looking quite its finest, but you made the most of it.
Yeah, it was a bit of a struggle. I really didn't think I was going to really even finish in the top 20 after that incident. The car wouldn't turn, it wouldn't stop. But fortunately, the way the track is, you can't really pass many places, so it worked out okay.
Yeah, that was a tough one, and it's a tough, bitter pill when your race starts off with you're hoping for good things and bad things happen, but you made the best of it. Hopefully next week you have a little better luck at the beginning, and we'll see if we can get you back on board here and back in the booth. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, Dale?
My teammates, Jason Park, he didn't have a great night, and Jay ran out of gas, but we had fun, and we look forward to next week.
Well, that's what it's all about, having fun and sometimes getting a great result in spite of what happened. So, Dale Peterson, congratulations. Hopefully we'll see you in the booth next week.
Thanks, guys.
And Zippy, we only have one person left to interview. It's almost over, I promise. We're going to bring in Jack Edgecoat. Jack, my goodness, I didn't think I was going to be talking to you tonight.
I didn't either. I would say that's probably the least deserving podium I've had my entire time doing this, because I did not have the pace of the top 3 tonight. Shame for what happened to Cortez, but it happens. So, but hey, we'll take it.
Yeah, and I didn't mean anything bad by that, Jack.
No,
we're used to seeing you battling up in the top 3. Tonight you were solidly in 4th. You had yourself good pace, just not quite the pace of the top 3, but you got to be there at the end. And unfortunate incident to Gonzalo Cortez, you were right there to take advantage of it. And well, here you are on the podium once again. So after week 1, I've got you. You're sitting 3rd, so I'd expect to see you maybe move up a little bit. Nice, good, close battle for the points championship. Looking good.
Yeah, mainly was just interested to see how Steven was gonna do, because I mean he was rapid last week, so it seemed like a lot of us were learning the track. I mean, I didn't finish one race this past week trying to practice this thing. I was dying in this car, so I took finishing this race as a win, and I mean a podium just cherry on top. So, but yeah, it should be close. I mean, I don't think we've had this close of a like top 5, top 6 finish that close together in here for pro in a while. So I mean, it was a good race for everybody.
Yeah, it was certainly exciting. Anybody you'd like to give a shout out tonight to, Jack?
Just the Going Racing guys. I know Josh didn't have that good of a race tonight, but anyone that was watching at home, my dad, if he was watching, I don't know if he's still watching, because I don't know if he thought I was going to get the interview or not. So if he's still there, shout out to my dad, and then shout out to the Logitech guys for providing the gear I use to race.
Some Jack Hedgehogs, no stranger to the booth after the race. Another podium finish for Jack. We'll see him next week. Next week, we're going to a new track here. Jack, you got any experience there?
What was it? Saxon Ring? I think, Josh.
It's Saxon Ring next week. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I bought it during, for the sale when it first came out. I don't even think I've done a lap. So here's another one to do 2 in a row. So we'll see how it goes. But I hope we can be able to pass easier. So we'll see though.
Yeah, well, it's going to be another new track for me as well. So we're all going to try it together at the same time. Jack, we'll see you next week. Congratulations once again, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Well, Zippy, that rounds us out here. Week 2. Quite the excitement at Adelaide. Next week we're going to Saxon Ring. We'll see what happens. I really appreciate you coming in and filling in for Rob Campbell. You did a tremendous job. Always love being in the booth with you. We go way back. Rob, Zippy, and myself, and we've been doing this a long time, folks. It's been fun, Zippy, and hopefully we get to do this again real soon.
Yeah, definitely. But most of all, let's hope that Rob does indeed feel better soon. Certainly, desperate times, ladies and gentlemen, he called me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the show, and certainly we gave it our best effort. And indeed, I gotta say, shout out to Throttle Freaks as well. What an absolutely fantastic evening of racing as well. Certainly, it's hard to run a league, and it's a reason I've not done it, ladies and gentlemen. I was probably going to stay that way, but indeed, such great camaraderie here. I mean, you see that the guys who are a little bit slower, they're very aware of what's going on around them, which is fair play. You got the pros, you got the pro-ams, you got the AMs as well, and all of these guys generally got on for the most part very well. 41 cars all sharing the same piece of racetrack with such a variety in pace. Takes a lot of work and a lot of respect, ladies and gentlemen. Fair play. These guys put on an absolutely fantastic performance, and it was a pleasure to be part of the show.
Until next week, folks. That's me, Richard Swindells. In production and commentary, we had Daniel Zippy Salmon filling in admirably. So we'll see you next week at Saxon Ring.